Alright, what's up? So I just made that last story last night, and thinking I'll just go ahead, just make another one real quick. Probably won't post it right after directly. I don't know exactly how I want to do that yet, but like I said, I really just want to harness a little bit more of the storytelling, because as you grow up, it's like you're not conversating as much as you normally would. So like a lot of stuff you just think in your head, and a lot of stuff is different when you think it in your head opposed as when you speak it. So I think it's a good skill to have, to just be able to tell stories well. And I mean, I don't know like what my exact direction is, like if I want them to be like really enjoyable or whatever. It's not a big deal, right? Like I'm just saying it's cool to be able to tell a story. Um, for the most part, just kind of get back into that mode where I'm able to speak a little bit better, because a lot of stuff in your head, it's not as good. Like it's totally different when you're able to speak it opposed to keeping it inside of your head, basically. But yeah, so I'll just go ahead and start here. The second story is back in college again, back around the same time. It's like when when I went to college, it's like I could talk about the whole experience of going to college, and I just didn't really like college that much. I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. In 2021, which is, spoke about this in the last video slightly. In 2021, I even said like, I don't have to go to college to make a good living. The last thing I want to do is go to college. So at that point in my life, which is 5 years ago, I did not want to go to college. Like going to college was not an option for me. Like that was out the window, right? And like now, like I still feel that way. And to me, like having a college degree is really kind of just, it's kind of just having like an extra chip, or like being able to have a trophy. Like that's all it is to me. Like I understand that college is hard. I'm not saying that it's easy or anything. I'm saying, college is really difficult. You have to put the work in, but I don't think you get rewarded for going to college for the most part, like unless, like another thing I said, if you really know what you want to do and that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? And like the big thing was I didn't have something that I wanted to pick that could be like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do. But anyways, we'll go back to college here. This was with two of the people that I mentioned in the very end of the first video that, I'm about to post, and this will be the second video after that. But two of these people were in that same story, and I can't remember how the whole thing went, because like I think we'd all, for the most part, like the people from my school, like we were pretty close, like we all knew each other pretty well. Like we'd hung out before and everything, and some of us would go out to the club and whatnot, right? So I don't think I went very much. Like I'm not like a big party person, or like, I mean, I do like going to parties and like whatever, you know what I mean? But I don't know, and like I kind of got most of it out in high school, I feel like. So in college, I wasn't really like as concerned with that. Like I definitely wanted to, hang out with girls, or like, the obvious like stuff everybody wants to do. But I don't think I really liked going out to the club, mainly just because the idea I kind of attribute this to is like when you're in 8th grade, you feel like you're like the big dog. Like nobody can mess with you. You're like, oh, somebody's messing with me. Like in the middle school, I'm in 8th grade. Like you ain't gonna do that. So it's kind of the same thing when you go to college. Like you're like the big dog in high school, and then you go to college and you're like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like it's always like that. But yeah, so it was kind of like that, and then I just knew I didn't want to go to school, so like I just wasn't having a good time, and I was like going through like a little bit of like a crisis of like, what am I gonna do, And anyway, so we got drinking this night, and I know I think my roommate stayed home. He must have stayed home. I went over to hang out with my other, like, he was probably, I don't want to say my best friend because of course I don't say that I had like a best friend, but he was up there, right? Like, he was one of my best friends. And I don't think he'd consider me his best friend either, but we were really, really good friends. So went over there, and I can't remember exactly which time this was, because like I know sometimes, like I know one time specifically, like we smoked, like it's not just me and him. Like I don't think he really liked smoking that much, but like he would, like he was cool with it, like, you know what I mean. But I know one time like we smoked like a backwood or two, or like drank a couple beers, and then went out. So I don't know if this was like something that happened this time, like if we'd smoked and then drank. I want to say that I had like 6 or 7 beers before we left, you know what I mean? So like a good amount, like my max. I mean, now that I'm older I can drink more, but like during that time period, if I had more than like 10 beers, I was just going to sleep. Like there was nothing else that was going to happen besides me passing out, you know what I mean? So anyways, it might have been a time where we just had like 7 beers. I hope I didn't smoke before we went, but irregardless, can't really confirm what I had before we went there, but we went to this place called Annex, and he knew the bartender because he was a year above me, so he was in like a frat. I think he was in a frat, or he was like gonna join a frat. I don't know exactly. I think he joined the frat his 3rd year, so it wasn't. He might have like, look, he knew the bartender somehow through somebody, right? So we were able to drink, I feel like, but if we were ever going to the club, like I'd just get drunk beforehand because you know they stamp your wrist with the 18. You can't be drinking in the clubs, even though I had a fake ID. Like they catch a fake ID like every time. You know what I mean? Like they're good about that. They ain't let you in with the fake ID. But yeah, so we're in the club, and then there's I think it was just me and him to start, but it was like my ex-girlfriend, her friend, and then another friend. So they had, I know it was 3 of them. I remember them like very well. I guess a couple, I don't know who all was there. I really don't know who all was there. And I just remember being at the bar, and you know, like I don't know how exactly drunk I was or whatever, but I mean, this is kind of a crazy story. We're already at 8 minutes, so I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. And I also remembered YouTube might not let you post a video over 15 minutes long. Hopefully that's changed. I don't know. I have to make it into like, you know, whatever. So I'm at the bar. Like I think I get 1 beer maybe. Some other people come around. I don't remember like anything. You know what I mean? I don't remember anything. It's just like, it's like flash. It's not good, right? Like and usually I'm like really good at controlling myself when I'm drunk, but I think I was like in a bad headspace at this time, so it's hard to tell how I would have actually handled myself being really drunk. And just, I remember I kept telling them like I wanted to go home. Like it was me and these 3 girls, I feel like, that was standing there with me for the most part. I don't know where my friend went. Like I don't know who else was there, who was doing what. Like I don't know anything, right? But yeah, I remember like they got like a trash can, which is just like a big drink. Like the girls can obviously get drinks pretty easy, right? So I know I was drinking with them like a little bit, and there was like a trash can. I remember like sipping out of a straw, but I remember being like, "Would you guys please take me home? Like I don't feel like I can walk back home by myself." Like I remember begging them, like, "Please just take me home, take me home, take me home," and they were like, "No." And I was like, "Can you at least like can you like show me where the bathroom is? Like I don't even like, I'm like, you know, like I'm out of my mind. Like I'm just, you know what I mean?" So I feel like, you know, like I wasn't even able to find the bathroom in this place. I was so fucked up. And I know like think I left like my backpack or like something at like my friend's house or whatever. So anyways, my solution to like this problem of like nobody wanting to like help me get home is I went in the middle of the club, pulled my dick out, and just pissed on the floor. And I don't know, like, bro, this could have been like 11:30, 12 o'clock. Like, I don't know what time it was, right? But it was nighttime. And there was a video of me, which I don't remember this. I remember specifically being outside the club. I feel like there was a boss man there or something, like, and I feel like I was just berate, like fucking like yelling, bro. Like, I feel like I was being like a real dickhead. Like, he was like, "Oh, this cool," like, cause obviously I probably could have been like prosecuted or something for that. Like, I could have totally woke up in jail, but I didn't. And the bouncer or like one of the security dudes, he punched me in the face. Like, I had like my dick out, and he punched me in the face. The video is crazy. It is crazy. And yeah. So I remember like being outside the club, and like there was like people like, you know, and they were like staring at me or whatever. And like, I guess, you know, they weren't gonna like call the police or something like that. I don't know. Like, I really don't know what happened, but I remember I felt like I was mouthing off. Like, I felt like I was just mad as fuck. And I can't confirm because I don't know, and like I'm not that type of person to do that anyways. Like, I've never really gotten angry, but like if I got angry like at this point, you know what I mean, like it's probably, you know. So I mean, I probably, even if I was really angry, I probably like came down a little bit and was like whatever, but I was probably like, I don't give a fuck if I could, like I don't give a fuck, like, you know what I mean. It's hard to tell, but anyways, and I was super drunk, so, you know, like, obviously I was not a threat to anybody after like 10 beers, you know what I mean? Like fucking my grandma could have whooped my ass at that point. But basically, fast forward to that, I woke up in the woods. Like, I woke up, when I tell you, I woke up, look, my dad was spam calling me. My phone was on like 3%. I remember waking up, the sun's up, looking at my phone, and I'm just laying here like on the ground, you know, like, and I look at my phone and I answer, I'm like, hello? He's like, where are you? He's like, I'm here to pick you up. And I was like, what? I was like, let me send you my location. So I sent him my location, fall back asleep, I'm pretty sure. He calls me again, he's like, I'm here. Dude, I don't even know where it was. Like, obviously I sent my dad my location so you could have seen it. It was beside an airport in the college town. It was beside the airport. But so I'm there. I have to walk through like straight up thorns. Like, I had to cover my face and walk through like a shrub of thorns, like up a hill, like up to the main road. My dad was sitting there waiting on me, and I got in the car, and it was just like the silent ride home, you know what I mean? And I feel like I could talk about this like a bit more, you know, like just the afterward effects of people being like, yo, were you okay? Or like, was that you? Like, because there was a video that they posted on like the most popular, you know, Instagram or whatever. Like, it got like a lot of views, but like it was dark in there. Like, I look like, I mean, I look pretty unique, but like you couldn't really like tell it was me, you know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, so that happened. And, you know, I get home and I just remember being like, I am never drinking again. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, my roommate called my dad because he was worried about me, you know what I mean? But yeah, waking up in the woods was fucking crazy.